This is the Game Changers Experience. Deep dive conversations with leading business disruptors, Olympic athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and influencers from around the world. This show will teach you insights about the winning principles in mindset, productivity, marketing, branding, entrepreneurship, business strategy, and more. Hosted by Productivity Authority, business strategist, former elite athlete, author, and public speaker, Adam Strong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Business Accelerator with myself, Adam Strong. And for you guys that are listening in live, as I mentioned to you, use the hashtag live, use the hashtag replay. For you guys that are listening to this later, and for you guys that are listening in the podcast, we'll put all the show notes below and any links that we feel like you need for today's show. So what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking a little bit about how to use or how to demonstrate how to use acts of kindness to become a better leader or entrepreneur. And you know, I want to quickly share with you guys some stories actually from this week, just over the last few days. That's really kind of like given me a different perspective, right? So, but before we get into the gist of things, if you're listening to me live or you're listening to the replay, do me a favor, share some love, okay? PLC, post, like, and comment on the comment section below. That will be super awesome. We're streaming this through YouTube and on LinkedIn Live and on our Facebook group. So if you've been fortunate, if this is the first time that you've come across the show, congratulations. We also have an amazing Telegram group, which we've just launched. And we've got a great tribe building off there. I love that. It's just amazing. So if you guys that are listening in, make sure that you subscribe to those channels and also click on the bell notifications, because every time that we go live, remember, we're here live, 9 a.m. UK time. For you guys, in terms of time difference, we also put the recording up here on the podcast as well. So listen, let's get straight into this, because I want to talk about showing acts of kindness to become a better leader. And interestingly enough, right, so I want to demonstrate something which I found quite alarming, but in another sense, it gave me a different perspective. So I was on the bus this week, right? So I was on the bus this week with my kids, and I was taking them to school, you know, because they like taking the bus and stuff. And a disabled man had got onto the bus, you know, in his wheelchair. Now, the bus is one of those kind of bendy buses, not the most accessible things in the world. But we both got off the same stop. Now, this particular gentleman who was in the wheelchair, I've seen him numerous times. And, and it just, you know, we got off the same bus stop. And you could see, like, he was having difficulty trying to get off the bus, right? The bus driver wanted to close the door. Everyone had got off the bus, like, literally tunnel visioned, didn't really give a toss about this particular guy who was in distress, right? He wanted to get off the bus. I had one of these double strollers with my two kids in it. It was like a double-decker stroller. So I was trying to get off the bus. And so what I did is I manually literally got the ramp down, helped the gentleman get off the bus with his wheelchair and stuff like that. And I'm the one that had the stroller. Everyone else were just like standing there like lemons, literally like lemons, or they'd already got off the bus and they were so tunnel visioned and not like aware about this gentleman who wanted to just simply get off the bus and just live his life like a normal human being. And so all I did was just help assist him get off the bus. And, you know, he thanked me. We had engaged in conversation as we went down the road. And even the bus driver couldn't even be bothered to get out of his seat. He just went, "Oh, thanks." So, you know, it's experiences like that, right? Where, you know, it gives you a slightly different perspective. Okay. So, you know, if you're going to become a better leader, if you're going to become a better entrepreneur, okay, sometimes you've just got to step up, right? Don't worry about what other people are thinking. Okay. In fact, don't, you know, live your life as a role model. Okay. You know, if someone's in distress, or if you're in distress, would you like to be, would you like to feel like you're ignored? No, of course not. So, you know, my way of doing things is, I'm not, I'm a kind person. I like to see myself as, a kind person. And so that was just one way. Another really great story that I want to share with you guys, actually. And again, I'm not going to use this gentleman's real name just because of professionalism. And he's going through a bit of a tough time right now. So there was a gentleman that came from the US, came through one of our podcast agents and said, "Hey, you need to get this guy on your podcast. He's an amazing guy, can really pipe into your audience, and got some great value to share." And I went, "Well, okay, fantastic." Checked out his profile like I always do. By the way, for you guys that are listening in on the podcast, I turn 99% of the guests down. This guy was a little bit different, right? So as I said to him that I would like to schedule a call to get to know you as a person, because that's one of my core elements, right? Is about relational capital. I need to get to know the individual first to see how the chemistry would work and how the energy works. And so on our call, we clicked, like literally clicked in 5 minutes. Great guy, super energetic. And he told me that his wife was seriously ill. Now, I'm a complete stranger to this gentleman, like complete stranger to him. But he told me that he was going through a bit of a tough time right now because his wife was sick. And I tried to, and all I did was just listen. I just listened to hear his pain and things like that. And he was going through a bit of a tough time. Anyway, I had him on the podcast, gave a great, we had a great show, some great fun and things like that. And just recently, I decided to reach out to him because at the back of my mind, I knew that he was in pain. I knew that he was kind of like going through, a bad experience in his life. And it was kind of like, I don't know whether you believe in this, but it was like the universe told me to reach out to him. And so I did. I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, so just wanted to reach out to you. And I know that you were going through a bit of a tough time. I hope your wife is feeling much better." And then he told me that, she's now in a hospice. And so I said to him in my message, I was like, I don't know how you're coping, and I would never want to put this upon anybody else. And I can't say how you feel because I don't know, because I've never been in this position. However, what I will say is, if you want a friend to talk to, I'm here. That's all I did. And again, it's showing an act of kindness. It's showing that, there is a human side, not just of me, but you have to learn to demonstrate that there is a human side, a human element of you, if that makes sense. Because again, people buy you, right? So they don't buy products, they don't buy services, they buy you as an individual. And so, using acts of kindness, love and kindness, right? And showing the human side of you as a person is going to help give people a slightly different perspective of their not only first impressions of you, but you're creating a memory. And I'm a big believer in this, right? I don't know about you guys, but for me, one of the things, and I never used to believe in this, okay, but the universe rewards those who put others first, okay? Because and I'm a big believer in that. Like I love to help people, but demonstrating acts of kindness is just going to help really formulate and help you set up success, whatever that defines and whatever that means to you. But also it's going to help you give this sense of fulfillment as well, right? And for me, like my impact, my legacy is all about living a life of fulfillment and not regret. Okay. And, and treat others as if you would treat, a family member or yourself, right? Just because they're a stranger or you may not have much of a connection. Okay. Showing that some kindness is just it's going to help you become a better person, right? And give you a slightly different perspective. Another great example, actually, I had a great call with a lady this week who had given me some value. And it was like our third call, whatever it is. And, I knew that she would, in fact, it was our second call, but I had her on the podcast as well. And I knew that she was struggling. I literally knew that she's struggling, and she asked me if I'd help her and stuff. And I was like, absolutely. And she was so thankful for what I could give her, some of the breakaways and some of the takeaways that she had taken away from the session. And I think what was really important from my perspective is to make sure that you don't have expectations, because if you have expectations, you become disappointed, and that's one way in which you can look at it from a different perspective in order to enhance you as a person, to show you that human element. Don't have those expectations, because if you have expectations, you become emotionally attached to the outcome. And so then it kind of put pressure, and it feels awkward, and it's just no go. Anyway, listen, I'm coming up to my 10 minutes now, but I hope that you've been listening attentively to today's 10-minute business accelerator. And if you have been listening to me live, use the hashtag live, use the hashtag replay. If you're listening to me on the podcast, please do me a favor. Make sure that you check out the show notes. Click on the URL links, which is our new Telegram group, which we're building right now. Absolutely amazing. We've got some great conversations happening there. And if you feel like I've given you some great value, then why not buy me a virtual coffee today? If you're sipping your coffee right now at 9:00, okay, whatever you are in the world, okay, you can buy me a virtual coffee. The link is down there, which is called buymeacoffee.com/the game changers. And buy me a virtual coffee. I'd really greatly appreciate that. That just demonstrates and goes towards our show production and stuff. Anyway, listen, enough from me. I'll be back again here tomorrow, 9 a.m. UK time. Make sure that you put that in your diary, and we'll see you soon. Have a fantastic day, week, month, or whenever you listen to this. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.